All right, gang, we're just finishing up some last minute fabrication on this one, getting brackets welded up. I got my brackets for the oil bags in there welded up. I've got to get hardware for them. That's about done. We're getting pretty close on it, but I couldn't wait. I went ahead and started putting this one together because my goal is to get one off the lift, put another one in there, and keep two long-term builds going at the same time. But if y'all caught my last short, y'all saw where I was asking for y'all's opinion. And be careful when you get on social media and ask for people's opinion. You know, you got to accept everything that people says, you know, good and the bad. I had the OG Zeus bar, or the OG Z bars on there, which these are just from Lowbrow, man. But my boy James at James Cycle Supply could build them. Shout out James Cycle Supply. Find him on the web, find him on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Phenomenal guy, and he's really up and coming, and I'm glad I made friends with him early on. So he could build a set, but it was these, and I've got another set of bars. Oh yeah, these ones on the wall over here. I had those on it, and nobody seemed to like those, and especially me. But I've got one other option I want to try. With the Z bars, unfortunately, I can't slide those all the way out to there because they start hitting right here, so I have to run them narrow. But I'm going to put a longer bar in here, and I'm going to move them out of here, and I got another set I want to put on here, and I'm going to go back really old school, guys, and y'all tell me what y'all think about it. Okay, I know it's the same bars, but I changed the risers up. I made a longer 1-inch bar to run through here, so I could move the risers out here. The problem I have is the way the risers mount to the handlebars. The angle on these Z bars is so tight, I have to roll them back like this. But to me, that's what makes them look good. Is basically almost the same angle as the front end. I need to tap them down a little bit and get them running at the same angle that front end's running. And I am starting to like those Z-bars a lot more. Now, I still hadn't shown you my third option, which I've also got my boy at James Cycle Supply building me a set. We're building them exclusively for this bike. And I'm gonna do a limited run of shirts on this bike. I'm gonna find a way to put this bike on a shirt in collaboration with James Cycle Supply. I'll have him on the back. It'll be the bike on the front, Hippie's Chopper Corner on the back. It'll be HCC and James Cycle Supply, just because I like James and we became friends. But this is kind of how she's shaping up. You know, my pegs will be about right here, maybe a little bit higher. You know, that's a really, really comfortable position to be in right there. Like, you can't put apes on it, or you're just going to be out here like this all the time. And don't get me wrong, I run apes on a lot of my bikes, but this particular bike, with the rate, the angle, and the geometry of it, that right there has my arms fully extended. Yeah. I get more excited every time I do something to this bike. That is my dream chopper right there, guys. So, all right, I'm gonna throw this other set of bars on there and let y'all think about that, so hold on. All right, guys, here's the other set. I went really old school with these. I went buckhorn. Now, there's nothing more period correct than an old set of buckhorns on a bike. And when you think of 1970s B-grade biker flicks, this is a bike them old bikers would have pulled up on. Would be a bike like this right here. I'm probably not sold on the buckhorns. I'll probably wait and see what my boy James at James Cycle Supply comes up with. I told him I like the Zeus bars, but I wanted more pullback, not as much as a set of rabbit ears, but I need more pullback. But hey, my painter's here. Shout out to Fuse Bike Art. Find him on Facebook. He does all this painting, that tank, that tank, that tank, that sign up there, other tanks. He'll paint this bike, he'll paint this bike, he'll paint that bike. But we're gonna pause for now. Let me hang out with my painter. Yeah, guys, I think it's gonna be the Z-bars. I think it's going to be the Z-bars with the risers spread far apart. I liked how they were set up. Although I think these old buckhorns fit the period of the bike that I'm building, I just don't think I'd be comfortable like that. The Z-bars put me out here, they stretch my arms out, these pull them way back. These would be good on less of a rate. So, that's where we're at with that. So, I'm gonna try to get this bike here finished up, guys. Y'all come and go with me. All right, that's enough playing wishful games on my own bike over there. My own bike ain't making me no money. Well, Born Free Texas is coming up in a couple of weeks. And a lady named Lisa Ballard, she handles all the vendors and stuff. And I've got till Friday to decide if I want vendor space or not. I reached out to Tuck, asked him how long it'd take to get about 20 shirts. So I guess I'm on a rip vendor space and do like I did last year when I went. I was debating on, if I do that, it takes me 4 days. I spend 4 days, not including travel time. I get there on Wednesday and I gotta be there Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night. They want vendors to stay through Sunday. And I'm not doing it. I didn't do it last year. I'm not gonna do it this year. But it's a good way to network, get my foot in the door some more, try to eventually land me an invite. So, I guess I gotta go pay my dues. I did notice a problem with this transmission. It doesn't appear that the throwout rod is hooked to the throwout. The throwout rod is hooked in there to the oil slinger. I gotta pull that cover off. I've got a chrome replacement cover for it anyway. Figure once I get the bike mount back up, and I got the oil tank finally sorted out. I need to get the front tank put in for the tank. Then all that's done, the seat's done. I need to make brackets for the exhaust, put the controls on it, and then figure out where the voltage regulator's gonna live. And I think I'm done. But there's a new kicker cover he bought for it. And he wants me to do all these little brass doodads on it. Pretty good bike. I got an ignition system ordered. I got the hardware for the outer primary ordered. Right now I just need to get her back in mock-up stage. Oh, gotta raise that up. Don't know how high I need to go yet. Let me get this jack up and we'll get back at it. All right, that might be high enough. Let's see. Good enough, good as snuff. I need to go to Crispy Co. They make a little square sleeve that'll fit in here because this is a 1-inch slot and that's a 3/4 inch axle, 3/4 inch bearings. But these old frames, they have 1-inch slots because with your mechanical and your juice drum brakes, you had spacers that went in there that slide with it. If you'll notice, this axle is made for a rigid frame. It's got that round piece with the slot on it right there. They make a little sleeve that'll slide in there. Okay. Bring her back down to just about where I want it. Pretty close. This is where it'd be helpful to have 3 hands. Couldn't find my little piece of wood. Technical difficulties, folks. It's just a machine, they said. You just have to be smarter than the machine. I need to tie a down bell around that master cylinder so I'll quit, master link, so I'll quit losing it. Yep, I think Born Free Texas is going to be pretty big this year. It's getting bigger every year. I had everything out I needed, of course I put it up. Like a big dummy. that fender's off just a little bit, but once I've got that set up on the Sissy bar, that way when I bolt it up, it'll be right there. Just dead nuts, looking perfect. Let's get this Sissy bar back on and I'll show you the seat modification that I did. That on there like that. All around here. Get that on there. I'll probably put some acorn nuts on these right here. I know I'm gonna put one up there. These are the same thread pitch I got some for right now. I think they are. I may have to cut some of my bolt off. No, need to put a lock washer on it. That's what I got to do. A lock washer. A washer. Go. Perfect right there. All right, got that one on there. Move over here to this other side. Chrome acorn nuts on a lot of this stuff, in my opinion, just looks so much better. That big one I got, that's a different size. Same thread pitch, it's just a different size. All right. In my opinion, that looks pretty good. Now let me show y'all the seat. So I had to add, about 3.5 inches to it because we decided we wanted that Sissy bar kicked way out. Right there. One more look at that. Ain't that just a sexy beast? There we go. That puts a lot of kickback on that Sissy bar. Handlebars need to be pulled back some too. They're too far forward. But I like that look. I still need to I need to drill a hole through the seat pan for right here. Don't worry about that hole, that'll be covered up. Drill a hole right here and tap a stud in there with an acorn nut back here. That way when we get it upholstered and get it on there, the tang that I put on them in the front, that's all she'll get in the front. So need to get the controls on it, brackets for the exhaust. I've got one more threaded bung right here, and that's what I mean by threaded bung. You drill a hole in your backbone, top hat bung, set it down in there, weld it in there, boom. Boom, done and done. So finish the tank, brackets for the exhaust. Then I need to make a bracket for voltage regulator, and then I need to modify the top motor mount I have to make it work. And I think that's it, fellas. Everything else will be done during mock-up phases, or during final assembly. So we'll shut it off for now, and we'll film a little bit more later. All right, got her all put back together finally. Like I said, still need to make my mount. Just drill and tap a stud through that. But I got the kicker cover off. I've got his new one. Got his new one with his brass hardware. I've got to, let me set y'all up. I'll probably do all this tomorrow. This thing didn't have much fluid in it, and it's pretty old. I don't know anything about this transmission. There's a C-clip. I don't know if that's focusing. Yeah. There's a C-clip that goes on the bottom of that. Y'all can see that groove in it. And it's gone. I didn't find it in there. And they're a booger to get on and off. But I've got to move all of this stuff over here to this one. I've got to take, I'll have to take all this off. It has a lock ring on it, yada, yada, yada. Got to take all that off. And when you go to put this back on, what do I do with the throwout rod? You have to have the kicker handle on it, and you pull that gear back and you clock it to where as if it had just started the bite, you know, like pedal was almost all the way down, and then you feed that in there, and that's how you, and then when you let go, it locks itself into place. And I think he brought me a chrome clutch arm, but for shits and giggles, let me just see how that, oh, that dresses it up nice, don't it? Oh, can y'all see that? Yeah. Well, that cleaned that up quite well. And when I get the bite done before final assembly, I will degrease everything, pressure wash everything, you know, because he's got a nice brand new transmission plate. The wheels are new. I mean, everything on this bike's new. It's based, engine rebuilt. The transmission is unknown to me right now, but everything else about the bike is brand new. Well, I'm going to get inside because it's Wednesday afternoon, and it's just about time for my premiere, and I like to get in there and communicate with you guys. So for today, we're going to end it here. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, they say. All right, finally got the oil bag mounted up. Fortunately, it came with an oil bag mount with a rubber stop on it. This particular oil bag had these brackets on the back, so I just welded in some gussets under the seat arm right there, and I got some nuts, or some bolts and some spacers right there, and basically just mounted it like that. I don't know how well you guys can see it, but I put the acorn nuts on top just for finishing touches, and I may put a bigger washer under that right there, but that's below the seat. It won't affect the seat any, so I think that'll work. Yeah. So far, we're close to having the fabrication done. I got a package supposed to arrive today with the ignition and the hardware for the primary, so I'll probably get the primary completely built. That way I can mount the voltage regulator. A couple more steps, man. Fixing the thread in a bung, or welding a bung for the gas tank, and then get my exhaust sorted out. And man, we'll have the fabrication done. We'll be ready to tear down for paint and powder coat, man. I'm excited. I'm super excited to get this one off the lift till it's time to put it back together and get that one on the lift. That one's gonna be hard to fit on my lift. I'll probably have to put it on there backwards if I'm guessing, or take that wheel scotch out where it can hang over. And then I can work on both of these at the same time. So I'm getting excited, guys. I'm super excited about this. What I'm really mad at myself about, there's my brand new cycle electric generator. And for the life of me, I can't find the gasket for the generator. But I've got my intake, got my carburetor, got my throttle. I don't have an oil tank, so I need an oil tank. I'm not gonna run that fender. I like the trailer style fender, but that one's just too wide for this bike, unfortunately. And I'm not gonna run that wheel. I'm gonna run this wheel because it has a black tire on it. I think that's a Firestone. Is that Firestone I bought? Or no, that's an Avon. And this one, if I had to guess, is a Shinko. Yep, this one's a Shinko. So for those of you that ask, basically just look up Shinko 21-inch, old school tread, 16-inch, and they'll pull all these up. And this one's an Avon 21-inch. I think this one's a sealed hub, sealed wheel. No, they both have tubes in them anyway, but you can get them sealed. So we'll get a little more fabrication done, and then we'll have to shut this video down, guys. Well, that's the first time this bike has seen the light of day. I finally got it fabricated enough I could get it on the kickstand, bring it outside. I'm gonna have to do an S-bend in the kickstand, because it will not stand up unless I do an S-bend in the kickstand. I made this seat pan about 4 inches longer so I could kick the Sissy bar back even farther. I know the newer guys like to run them Sissy bars kind of straight up and down, but not really my style. I've still got quite a bit of fabrication to do on this bike, but hopefully within the next week I'm tearing this one down for paint and powder coat, because Born Free Texas is coming up, and that bike's going with me. Waiting on the cylinders to come back from the machine shop for the shop bike. That one there, I just keep robbing parts and pieces off it, but I've got a titled frame with a good running engine in it. We'll build that one as soon as we can, so I thought I'd take time just to maybe clean the shop up a little bit and give y'all a peek at this bike. It's got a cool stance, but it's really low, and my big fear is going to be dragging this exhaust on sharp turns, you know. It's low. Not sure about these handlebars. I think they may be a little bit high. That's what I mean about the kickstand. Definitely going to have to put an S-bend in it, but that's an update, guys. Stay tuned, Hippie's Chopper Corner, folks, for more of this sketchy chopper shit. Well, she's got her back on the lift. I hope y'all like the look of her from that last segment where I had her out in the front yard, and you see the stance she's got. So she came together nicely. I've got the truck loaded up with some swap meet stuff. If y'all notice, a lot of seats and old tanks are gone. The floor's cleaned out pretty good. I got rid of a bunch of those bins that I had. So hopefully it'll be another stellar swap meet and I'll sell out. If I hadn't said it in this segment, y'all go check out my brother up in the north, Slick at Slickhead Custom Cycles over there on YouTube. And check out Ralph at It's My Time, Let's Go. He's on YouTube and he's on Facebook. So, all right, guys, hope you enjoyed the show. I think the next one you guys will probably see be Born Free Texas. Hippie's Chopper Corner, folks, home of the sketchy chopper, where we keep them sketchy all the time.